Well, hi guys, and welcome back to this week's budget check-in. I think we're on number 6 now, which I just find to be absolutely amazing that I've actually kept up with this. So, as you can see, I'm using the Hemlock and Oak 2023 Daily. It's a beast of a planner. And just in case if you're new here, just to kind of give you a glimpse of the size and bulk of this thing, it's very well crafted. And if you want to check them out, feel free to use the link that I provide down below. But we are just gonna go ahead and hop into this because my son's birthday is tomorrow and I would like to start getting ready to celebrate that. So, let's go ahead and just start with these pages here. So you get a 2023 into 2024 year at a glance page. And what I chose to do with this is all of my projected payment dates. I got on like this little graph here from the Stebit website. It is the Debt Payoff Planner app. So that one does get a little confusing, but I do have a link to that down in the description. You basically plug in all of your information, which I haven't shared this in a while, so just in case if yins are new or just joining. So basically what you do is you start off with plugging in all of your information. Okay, so all your accounts, all the I think I said account, so all of your amounts, you put in the interest, your minimum payments, all that hoopla, and it generates this nice little payment thing for you. This is all free. So, like as you can see at the beginning of the year, I started off with 24.1% paid off my total balance, and I do believe it's telling me as of today I have 29 or 30% paid off. So I am making progress. It's nice to see that as well. And like as you can see, it does show you like this nice little payment thing that as long as you do what this says, you will be paid off by your projected date. So that's nice to know. I do like this quick view right here, and I do color them off with, a mild liner when I do make that payment as well. So it's a lot of checking off and keeping up with the balances, but hey, it works and it's kind of motivating to see, that mountain hole go down. So, or I guess not mountain hole, mountain landslide. I don't know, guys. It's been a very stressful week. So, I'm really not here mentally today. But, yeah, so basically I took all those projected dates from this and I marked them in pink. And then since I'm a color-coded person, I started taking my focus account and like I highlight the weeks that it took me to pay the thing off. So as you can see, it was like a little over, so like 1 day more on 3 weeks for the Walmart account to go bye-byes, which I'm still impressed by because I never would have thought that like that would have went away in 3 weeks. So I mean that was pretty easy. We are on week 3 with Kohl's. Technically, I could have that thing paid off today. Just because the main bulk of my bills come out, which you're going to see on the monthly view, but they do come out on these weeks. I'm waiting until all of these clear to make sure that I can do that final payment. Last thing I want to do is spend, which I know it sounds absurd, but it's only $50 more. The last thing I want to do is spend that $50 and then something happen and then I'm going to have to pull from savings or I'm going to have to pull from the worst case scenario, a credit card. So we're gonna take the slow and steady route here. So I mean, I do want to pay that off today and just be done with it, but yeah, previous attempts here have taught me to just be cautious. So that brings us to this year at a glance, which at first I didn't see the importance of this page, but the more we start proceeding into the year, this page is actually becoming quite important. So I started off by marking all of my paydays in green. It seems simple enough. And then I started marking all of my focus accounts in red. And for that focus account for that month, if I do pay it off in that month, I'm highlighting the payoff date. So, like we had Walmart, as you saw earlier, that was my focus account for January. It got paid off, so I started Kohl's, but we've moved it to February because it's not paid off yet. Will be, but it's not done yet. I put in all of my birthdays so that I could keep track of when them things are popping up. Of course, the taxes. We got holidays. Those pesky vehicle bills that like come out of nowhere. So we have vehicle inspections. If your license expires or needs renewed, and of course your plate renewals. So I have those marked. So again, I'm not getting surprised by like a $50 charge, or worst case scenario, I forget about it and I don't renew it because that's going to cost more in fines. So, I mean, I got those marked. Um, if I have large sums of money coming in or out, again, like the taxes and then insurance funds. So those are marked on here now. And I think that covers everything on here. I mean, I'm always adding to this. Okay, like this right here. This is an unexpected expense, but I did have to help a friend in need. So I marked down the day that it happened and how I covered it. I mean, we're setting up a payment plan once this is all situated, but I did need to mark like this is when this happened and how I handled it. Because you never know, like you might have the same situation occur again. So I want to know first off, did that work? Was that the best way of doing that? And how can we improve it? The next thing would be our detritus. Um, I wanted to fill this in as like the month progressed, but I mean, seeing that it's 104.99 for each piece, I decided that it was best just to get my total number paid per debts at the end of the month and then fill it in. It's just easier math wise. And I mean, I am going to have to say it was kind of nice to see like how much I actually did pay off towards my debt at the end of the month. I mean, it would be better if this was going to my savings, but I mean, I now know that I have that much less debt. So, I mean, I did fill in more of the detritus for January than what I actually thought that I would have. So, I mean, that was a nice surprise. So, let's see here. This is January completed. So, we've already covered this, which is going to bring us to February. And as you can see, February is progressing nicely. And I have like all of my projected bill days so that I can get a quick visual of when these things are due. Again, my paydays are highlighted. So, I mean, I basically know like I'm not getting paid until this date. So, all of these need to be covered by that previous pay. So, again, you're not running out of monies. Um, as you can see, like I did get paid on the 10th. So, yeah, I took care of the ones for that week, but I've also started to work on the bills that are due before the next payday. Because again, the next thing is you don't want to end up short. Because I mean, you gotta pay the bills first. Bills get paid first, then you have all your other variable expenses. So we've already worked on those, mainly the creditors and loans. I make sure those are taken care of immediately. And then I have the utilities, which me and my son have. So we got to go on there and figure out what those are and then transfer those funds. So those do take a little bit more work. Okay, so I have my daily savings goal, which I actually forgot. Guys, it came in. Okay. So, I am a digital saver. All of my money does stay on the like in an actual savings account because I like to generate that 3 to 4% interest. It may not be a lot, but trust me, once you start accumulating funds, it adds up pretty quickly, and everybody likes free money. So I made this cute little cash envelope, something I never use just because I am a digital banker and me and the cash don't really get along. So I did generate this for yins to get a visual of how quickly your funds can add up if you just save $5 a day for the year. I break it down into the months, and like a quick view would be is that there's only 28 days in February. So if it's $5 a day, because with 30 days it's 150, so you just subtract 10, so that's 140, and then I divided it up, and that gives me two easy payments of 70 on my paydays. So as you can see, for last month I had 75 and 80. So I have those. And these are the fake bills that I got from Amazon. I love them. They are super adorable, and it feels weird because I never actually used the cash. So let's see here, 50, 70, 80. So as you can see, I have my 75 and my 80, which gives me the 150. So let's put these back in order here. I feel like I'm playing with Monopoly money. And I'm horrible at Monopoly. But yeah, so okay, this is the 70 that I did transfer over. So again, it's not breaking the bank, guys. You could either do the $5 per day. It's what you would do at like a Starbucks or a McDonald's or, any of the drive-throughs. But that is also kind of eye-opening too, because just this far into the year, if you do frequent the drive-throughs every day, this is how much you've just given away. So this is nicely tucked away in my savings account. And again, yes, I know it is fake money. It's not real money. It's because I want my real money in my savings account collecting interest. These are just for a visual. And I've never actually got to see what all of my savings looks like in like a cash form. So that's kind of fun for me too, just to see what it looks like, because wow. So I do have my first daily payment that's already in my savings, as you can see. And okay, so Kohl's is my focus account, so I do have those marked on here as well. I'm doing $46 every Sunday until that sucker's paid. And like I said, I think we're at 54 or 55, which it is off because I do have that minimum payment. I don't include that in the extras, just because, it always seems like it gets paid off earlier because I'm not including that. So it's kind of like a sneaky motivation thing that I do to trick myself. So I don't know. Maybe you could do that for yourself. Maybe it's like that one thing that you just need, So I have a feeling this is going to get paid off on this day. I could do it today, but as you can see, these are my paydays. I had all of this coming out. I still have my utilities, and then I still have to wait for all of these to clear. I do want to check the dates on these just to make sure that they are correct, because who knows, maybe since February is a shorter month, maybe it got moved to the 23rd. So I'm checking these as well, because the last thing I want to be is short $10 or $50, okay? I'm not risking that chance. So maybe I can only afford $46 next Sunday, and I'm going to have to pay like $5 more on this one. I don't know. I'm not there yet. I don't ever pretend to be able to predict the future here. So that's why we're waiting on this. Okay, so now we have my no card challenge. And so this one, I went into this thinking this is never gonna work, and I'm gonna have to say it's been really easy not to use the credit cards. So that makes a big difference when you are paying off your debts, because you could be putting 200, 300, 400 onto one account. But if you're using another card and you're adding 100 onto it every month, you're not really going to get to see the difference in the payments going down as you would if you just literally stop putting salt on the wound. Stop using the cards. And it's been easy. So, I mean, that's the one thing I'm fortunate enough to say, that nothing really bad has happened yet. But that's why we have our savings. So, anybody again who claims that you can't save money and pay off debt at the same time, they're full of crap. You always save and pay off debts, because it is the savings that's going to stop you from adding to your debts. And okay, the last one that I've added to this would be the Vita Authority. That's my collagen that I use. And I did deem this necessary just because when I do use this daily, my back doesn't do what it normally does, which is go out of place. Um, for some reason, my disc want to shift, especially if I'm tense. So if you get a really stressful week and I'm too lazy to take my collagen, bad things happen to my back, and this like $20-$30 a month that I like it comes out to once you're done bulk buying, that could quickly turn into $600 to $800 of medical bills. So it's like paying a little bit now to prevent more expenses later on. So, I mean, that's how I stated that's worth it. So, we did start resuming our collagen. So, hopefully, the back starts behaving. I think we're on this one. So, this is where we would have ended up last time. And okay, again, you could see, like, okay, I do like a little focus, a little review intention area up front. Um, One weird way, like, this is actually helping me think differently about my spending and my savings and my money in general. I have my task list. So, like, as you can see, I'm continuing with the I will not use the cards. Yes, I do a daily reminder, and for some reason that's like really satisfying to check off now. um I re-enter the bills that are due that day, and then they're also put on my ledger, so I now have a daily ledger of knowing how much is in my account, what's going in, what's going out, and why. um okay, what else do I got? I got this debit and the every dollar. So if I do go on to those accounts and I enter this information, so as long as those transactions are entered into those apps, so this is like if it got paid, and then this is if it got entered, because I want the information on those apps to match this, because there's no reason for even doing any of this if none of it balances. you you just got like a wishy-washy view of what's happening. You don't actually know what's happening. So you need these to match this. So that's why I'm checking them off twice. And of course, they're getting checked off on this monthly view, because the last thing I want to do is miss one of these before the next payday. So that's the mission, is once I get paid, to have the majority of these paid off and taken care of before the next payday, because we don't want surprises. The other like little thing that may be different if you are budgeting yourself is I do use this schedule column. This is literally the times when I'm reviewing. So if I'm reviewing my expenses, or I'm updating my log, if I'm working on this debit and every dollar. I did update my savings buckets this day, but these are the actual times of the day. So this is going to let me know if I have danger times or if I have really good times whenever I'm working with my money. Because if you start noticing, like, check it out, this is when I spend money. See, that you know to avoid the phone, so that you could stop that whole did scrolling shopping for stuff that you don't need. So those are the danger times. But I also learned that there's good times to be on Stebit, to be looking at my accounts, because that appears to be a calm, undisturbed time of when I can actually focus on my accounts. So this is like a quick glance of what has occurred in my budget for this week. And like again, like I don't do this debit thing every day. So like when I do, like for January I was, just because I'm trying to drill it into my head, but now I know it's not like absolutely necessary. I try not to go past 2 days. So I do need to look at this at least every 2 days just to make sure we got everything where it needs to be. But I mean, for some reason, like I look at the Stebbit thing and that, and I'm like, oh god, it's extra work. But once I do get on there and I get to see that little wheel thing showing my progress, I mean, it makes it worth it. So, yeah. And that gets us to today. I have not come up with a quote or a focus thing yet. Like, as you can see, like I do that on some days where like I'm projecting towards it. But for today, I really have no idea what's going to happen today, so I felt it was better just to wait and complete that later on. But yeah, so I mean, we are progressing pretty well. And like as you can see, I do have the rest of this filled in. So like, yeah, I do have these already paid, but I do keep those on those days. It also makes you a little bit more leery to spend just for the fact that you know that these amounts are out of your account. And yeah, so I know how much is in my account at that current time, but I'm always thinking, hey, you paid those bills, so you try to spend less. So I mean that's it. That's a quick summary of what's gonna happen in February there, and pretty soon we're gonna be looking at a March page. So we're marching right along to March. And I really do hope that these videos help you, that maybe you haven't heard of some of these apps and they have been extremely helpful to me during my budget journey, and they're keeping me on track. I'm gaining more insight into my spending habits and all of that fun stuff. So, I mean, yeah. So, I just want to close out by saying thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more Plan With Me's. And just if you're working on your own budget journey, keep going, guys. And I wish you all the best of luck.